The year is 2030. You've been working hard for the past 365 days and saved up every penny you have to drop it all on the greatest vacation. But this destination is beyond just a dip in your own infinity pool facing out on some crystal clear tropical lagoon. No, this is the opportunity to stare into the infinite abyss and the wonders of space, the final frontier. Space tourism is no longer just science fiction, because traveling to space for recreational purposes is finally achievable. And while the concept has been around for decades, it's only in recent years that we've seen real progress. Companies like SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Virgin Galactic are leading the charge, making space travel more accessible to non-astronauts. But how did we get here? Way back in 2001, Dennis Tito became the first space tourist, paying a whopping $20 million. Fast forward to today, and the cost, while still high, is gradually decreasing. Kind of. Now, you just have to be a Kardashian or a really good TikToker to potentially hitch a ride to space. Virgin Galactic, for instance, offers suborbital flights at around $450,000. So if you don't want to buy a house, and you want to just go up to space for like 45 minutes, maybe that's the best thing to do. Their spaceship to Unity can take you 50 miles above Earth, offering breathtaking views and a few minutes of weightlessness. So what does the future hold? Experts predict that within the next decade, we could see space hotels, lunar tours, and even Mars expeditions becoming viable options. Companies are already investing in the infrastructure. Orbital hotels, which is not an easy thing to say, will be situated in low Earth orbit, providing guests with breathtaking views of our planet. Imagine waking up as you press your frosted glass window from opaque to 100% transparency, and boom, planet Earth is your view. Now that you've had your LEL, Low Earth Latte, courtesy of Starbucks, big shout out to Howard Schultz for coming up with that name while still on Earth, you head up to the zero gravity deck, where you and your friends can experience weightlessness, play a little zero gravity pickleball, and maybe even do a bit of zero G's yoga? After a dip in the pool, don't get caught swimming in zero G's though, you might have to deal with this. You head up to a nice gourmet meal prepared with space-friendly ingredients, potentially grown in the on-site hydroponic gardens, and the opportunity to participate in some scientific experiments or educational programs about space and astronomy. Not a bad way to spend a few days. But why be confined to some floating hotel above Earth when you can take a slightly longer jaunt to the moon? That's right. Hotels on the moon would offer a more exotic and extreme experience and maybe even prove that we were never there in the first place. Conspiracy theorists, I'll leave you to the comment section. Go nuts. But for the rest of us, the moon would be an amazing and crazy place to visit. Maybe you'd take a guided excursion in your very own moon buggy and do some donuts around the American flag, if it's actually there. Or take a walk in low gravity and explore a few craters and landmarks, potentially finding an ancient transformer who wants to destroy Earth. With a lunar base as your home away from home, comfortable living quarters with advanced life support systems, communal dining areas, and social spaces would make it feel like you've gone to moon camp. Then, of course, there are the state-of-the-art observatories for stargazing and studying the cosmos, because without Earth's atmospheric interference, everything is a lot easier to see. And of course, be sure to bring a hammer and hit the ground a few times to see if the moon makes a hollow, echoey sound as you seek out the aliens inside who built the moon to spy on Earth. Tinfoil hatters, comment away. But if all this seems tame so far, then do what Arnold said and
get your ass to Mars.
Though more distant in the future, Mars colonies could serve as an extended stay hotel or research base. After a 10-month trip, maybe asleep in your cryo chamber, or playing the absolute longest game of gin rummy in history, you land on the red planet ready to explore. Guided rover tours and hikes across Mars' diverse landscapes will include visiting canyons, volcanoes, and plains. After a long day of hiking, you head back to your advanced habitat filled with renewable energy sources, water recycling, and food production systems of the finest quality, maybe. So this all seems amazing, exciting, and literally otherworldly, but let's take a moment to get our heads out of the crap nebula and take a moment to explore the risks. Space travel involves high-speed launches, extreme environments, and complex technology, all of which can go wrong. And while companies are improving safety measures, incidents like SpaceX's Starship explosions remind us of the inherent dangers. Then there's figuring out how to deal with the immense radiation that would bombard the ship, potentially causing you to arrive at your classy accommodations DOA. Or there are those little things, pun intended, called micrometeorites that are constantly flying through the cosmos. One hit from one of those bad boys, and it's the cold vacuum of space, where apparently Mr. Ridley Scott coined the phrase, "In space, no one can hear you scream." And of course, AI, which will most likely be driving you to your destination, could malfunction and cause all kinds of chaos. But hey, I'm a glass half empty type of guy when it comes to space travel, so take all this with a grain of moon sand. Because for all I know, this is going to be amazing, but I'm going to wait for the first 50,000 people to enjoy their trips before I hop a ride to the moon. And finally, here are some of the amazing actual projects from real companies that are starting to emerge as the big contenders in space tourism.